Hey, this is the one and only storyteller, April the 7th, 2021. Been out doing a little adventuring this morning. I had do have a 289 Hypo engine on a local listing, and a gentleman contacted me about a little more information about the engine, which I gave that to him, and through conversation, he asked me if I needed any parts for my 70 Mustang, and I said yes I did. So he invited me out, and Mr. Joe was very welcoming. He showed me his collection. He had a 64 Mustang that was 319 build. Not 65, but 64. It was 319th one built on the first day. He showed it to me, and then he had a 70 Mustang convertible, which is pretty rare. He had a 69 Shelby convertible, and he had a 69 Mach 1 351 Windsor automatic car loaded. Power steering, power brakes, rear folding seat. It was optioned up, spoiler, all original components. He did have another 69 Mach 1 with a 394 speed car. It was not optioned up. It was more performance package. So, but he had more Ford Mustang parts than I thought anybody in this world could ever have. But Mr. Joe had them. So without any ado, we're going to get into what I bought from him today, and at the end, I'll tell you what he charged me. So we're going to start off with, this is the power steering pump for a 1970 Mustang 351 Windsor. Did come with a bracket and the attachment bracket. One thing you need to keep in mind, 1969 was aluminum, 1970 was steel. So any number of people out there looking at a car need to take that in consideration. It did come with the hoses and the cooler, which is a really good find. It all seems to be in really good condition. It was stored inside for the last 15 years or so. It'll have to be flushed out and cleaned, but hey, it's a fantastic deal. So what we're going to do is, we also sold me 2 C4 transmissions. This one here come with the detent cable, lever, and the lever for the automatic floor shifter. He could not remember exactly which bell housing was needed, so he sold me both of them for the same price. And what a deal that was. I couldn't find one anywhere. So it's pretty awesome. So as you can tell from the front, there is a remarkable difference. You can tell where it bolts up. This one, if I can get them both in the picture, you can tell the one on the right is about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch taller than the one on the left. Like I said, both of them he believed was working. It was old stock out of a transmission shop that he bought he bought the remaining transmissions and parts 20 years ago. So he thinks that they both were good. Why would you keep a core 20 years ago? So he thought they were built, and he just gentleman set them on the shelf and was waiting for somebody to buy them. But okay, video number 2. Cut off the first one. I'm gonna have to get used to working with my GoPro. I'm not real comfortable with it yet, so, but I'm gonna have to get comfortable because this phone keeps cutting off. So what I was saying is Mr. Joe believed both of these were good transmissions because they were on the shelf in the transmission shop that he bought out during an auction. So why would you have cores just sitting on the shelf 20 years ago. He believed they were built and sat on the shelf and was waiting for someone to purchase them. If not, it doesn't really matter, but they're both clean. They have very little dirt or very little grime on them, so he could be possibly right. So, but we're going to rebuild them anyway. He just could not decide which bell housing went with the Mustang, so he just sold me both of them for the same price. So then we're going to skip over to this. This is a inner structure dash panel with the original fuse block, all the original wiring under the dash, all the plugs for the ignition switch. Came with a few dirt daubers, resistor. All this is here. Now this one is cut off. I think it's for a courtesy light, but I'll take my schematic chart and determine exactly what that's for. So then down here, if you see here, that's under the hood wiring harness. It does have the parking light connectors cut off, but other than that, it's complete. If you look here, is another under the dash wiring harness that I bought these two together as a group. And then I have these down in here. I have the detent passenger rod. I also have the one windshield wiper, two windshield wipers, and I have the heater control block with cable. But most of all, what I love is the rod that goes from the transmission to the floor shifter, which is extremely hard to find. People want $35 to $50 just for that rod on eBay and other auctions of that nature. So I was extremely happy to get that piece, because they are hard to get and they're hard to find, and they don't reproduce them. There's a lot of things that are not reproduced. You have it, or you better hope you have it, because if you don't have it, then you're going to be without. So that kind of gives me an idea of what I got here. Got this piece with the wiring harness, including courtesy lamps, two transmissions, one with the torque converter, one with the shift linkage, and the power steering with the hoses and the brackets. Yes, for the sum of, sit down now, I had to sit down, for the sum of $150. I got everything that you see today, everything included, all for $150. If you don't think that ain't a buy or a steal, you can't get this wiring harness off of eBay for less than $100 itself, much less with the structure. Also, it came with the lighter, if I ever get it out, and it came with the windshield washer switch. So it did not come with a light switch, so I can pick one of those up anywhere. But as you can tell, it's not beat up, it's not rusted in any way, it's complete. And you just can't buy deals like that in this time and era of the world. He said he collected for over 22 years. He said his wife complained the whole time. So he said he bought cars over the years and stripped them down as far as parts and parted them out. He had 2 barns, storage units. All of it was separated just like it should be. Alternators in one spot, starters in another spot. Transmission, it was completely separate but together. So he said he wasn't trying to make a killing. He was just trying to make some of his money back and make it that to make it that it was worthwhile, or at least show that it was worthwhile. So we're gonna get off of here today. Just want to give you a rundown on what was going on, what had happened, and what I found. And we will be going to see Mr. Joe again. The transmission, I got seen him a few more measurements on the crank measurements on the mains and the rods, and I have to send him the measurements on the main cap width. And with those few things that he's wanting to know, more than likely I'll be seeing Mr. Joe again when he purchases the block, the crank, pistons, rods, cam, and all the rest of the goodies. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you have a good day, and be safe out there. And if you leave a comment, try and leave a positive one. If you can't leave a positive comment, at least leave a positive comment last. Ring the bell, subscribe. Thank you for everything, and we'll see y'all later.